Welcome to the Rams review. It's Owen Bradley with Sean Barker, the former Derby captain, alongside. Here at Pride Park Stadium, where Derby County have signed off for the international break with a win this afternoon. They've beaten Queen's Park Rangers to make it 4 wins out of 5 here in the league at Pride Park. 2 goals in 76 second-half seconds settled this tie. A thumping header from Curtis Nelson gave Derby the lead, and then after that breakthrough, Marcus Harness with his first Derby goal, wonderfully taken finish into the top corner, straight from the restart almost, made it 2-0. Derby well worth the victory this afternoon. You'll hear from goalscorer and head coach Paul Warne shortly. We start with a word, as always, from Sean Barker. I think, Sean, it was a deserved win for Derby today?
It was. I thought the first 45 minutes we were the better side without creating enough chances, without testing the goalkeeper Nardi in QPR's goal. So we saw signs of us dominating the ball and building through the pitch. We got ourselves in some really promising positions without doing that final bit, without having the detail or the quality of cross. In the second half, strangely, I thought we started really slowly in the first few minutes, we were a little bit sloppy, but as soon as we got that goal, everything changed, and what a goal it was from Curtis Nelson. 60 seconds later, you're looking at 2-0, and it's a completely different complexion of the game. QPR obviously had to come out. They made 4 changes. They started asking a few questions. They got further up the pitch, but it still allowed Derby to have a few chances to themselves. So, thoroughly deserved performance. I thought we controlled from start to finish. I thought there were some exceptional performances, and it's exactly what we wanted going into the international break.
We'll talk about the goals in a moment, but just to pick up on one of those exceptional performances, Kenzo Hartmine, brilliant today, and you gave him player of the match.
I did. I thought it was a class above everyone in the first 45, especially. His detail of pass, how involved he was. My only criticism of him in the few games that we've seen of him at the start of this year is he has little moments and little touches and little passes. I thought he dominated long spells in that first 45 minutes. Crossfield passes, short passes, little drop of the shoulder, through balls, everything that was good came through him. He faded off in the second half, there's no denying that, but he still had those moments in possession. And when we're talking about a team that's gone from, in no disrespect, not as technical over the last couple of years with Paul, and being a little bit more direct, being a bit more passionate, a bit more aggressive, he started to introduce players that can handle the ball, and Kenzo Hartmine is a perfect example. I thought physically he tired and he needs to get up to speed in those last 20-30 minutes, but his technical ability is class, and I thought he stood above everyone else, even though there were some exceptional performances out there.
Yeah, there's a reason he started every single game so far for Derby in the league this season as well, Kenzo Hartmine. Let's hear from his head coach, Paul Warne, smiling after this one.
Yeah, really pleased. I mean, that's a good 76 seconds. I'd like a lot more of that. Yeah, really pleased. I thought first half we were really good box to box. I just didn't think we were very... what's the word I'm looking for? Clinical, creative. A few of our crosses hit the first man. We nearly looked good at times, but didn't look good enough really. So just asked for a bit more at half time, and the lads kindly got 2 goals quite quickly. I mean, Nelson's goal was an absolute joke. And then really pleased for Marcus, because he'd done a lot of running for the team, and to get a second goal, and our play possibly deserved another goal. I thought, you know, made a good save off Jerry. When Corey gets clean through, you fancy him. He was done well when he came on again. So there was a lot of positives. You know, unfortunately we didn't have senior pros, by the way, but we only had 2 midfielders fit for today. So we sort of patched up and got through it as best we could. And obviously I've put Nat on as centre mid, which is joyful. So everyone played a part and got us through on a win, which is really pleasing.
In terms of your first goal, I know you work ever so hard on the set pieces. I mean, it looked almost quite simple. Stand the cross up and let Curtis Nelson hammer a header in. I'm sure it was more complicated than that.
Yeah, a little bit more complicated than that. But in fairness, as Nels jumps, I'm thinking, well, he's got a free header. But weirdly, in football, it's worse having a free header. You think, oh my God, you're better off someone's challenged you, so you're sort of fighting against someone. But that is some header from there. That is... And I thought he was due. I said to him before the game, I thought you were due a goal, because he scored a great one at Blackburn, and that, as you well know, they get pictures now on the wall every time they score as well. We celebrate anything. We win a throw-in, photo. You know, win a tackle, photo. So it's good for Nels to score, and he's been like an unbelievable performer again for us this season. So I'm really pleased for him. Trying not to not mention anyone, but I thought Kenzo was outstanding for the majority of the game. He makes us tick, he takes risks in the right place, and played really well. And, you know, accompanied with Ibu in the middle, they've done really well considering, you know, they played midweek, and we were a little bit thin today in terms of our squad. And you know when you're thin, because all the people I'm high-fiving before the game in their full tracksuit, I'm thinking, wow, he's a good player, he's a good player, he's a good player. And we were laughing about the fact that we had a lot of good players out today, but, you know, everyone played a part. Even the ones who didn't get on the pitch played a part in the dressing room and everything else. So it's a really pleasing win, and I think deserve it, really. I think, you know, we played 3 really good teams recently and haven't been on the right side of any fortune, and today we made our own fortune and won. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased.
Quick fire second, scored by Marcus Harness, his first for the club. You must have had a great view of that finish from where you were.
Yeah, well, as soon as he hit it, I thought, let's go, 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 yeah. And that's sort of how my mind works. I'm like a child. But the nice thing was the press was more aggressive, you know, which when we shoot that way, we seem to have an extra 10%. And anyone who came into the ground today, it felt like it was a win for everybody. It feels amazing playing here. And even if we lost like we did last time against Norwich, the fans stayed and clapped off. And like, I love that. That is how, you know, a utopic society should look. I know I sound a bit weird, but so yeah, really pleased for everybody who came and stuck with the team. And, you know, it's difficult to win a game in the Championship. So another well-earned win, and the lads can really enjoy a couple of days off.
You referenced the boys in the tracksuits and the players not available to you. Ben Osborne, Tawana Chile were added to that today. Does the break come at a good time for you then?
Yeah, Sonny pulled out of training yesterday. He just felt his knee just didn't feel right. He felt a bit swollen in there, so he pulled out. So yeah, so hopefully after the window we should have Tom back in, Barkhausen back in, Tomo back in. David Ozo won't be far off. I presume Sonny will be back. Ozzy will be back. He's just got a little bit of an irritation which should calm down quite quick. So we should have a few players back, and then, as we always say, great problems for the manager. But in the meantime, I can just enjoy the win with the lads and everything, and yeah, everyone can enjoy their night.
There's Paul Warne, yeah, chance for Derby to rest up and hopefully get a few bodies back before they get back underway in a fortnight's time after the international break. Back to today, Sean, a great victory for Derby, 2-0 over Queen's Park Rangers. Maybe could have been more. As good as the Rams were in the first half, no real clear-cut chances. That changed second half with the goal, Curtis Nelson, with just a fabulous header to make it 1-0.
It was. I can't see him scoring many better headers in his career. It was a wonderful finish. Sometimes centre-halves prefer that driven ball into the box from corners. I used to like it where it was driven and then you just had to direct it. But his position on the pitch, how far out he was, it had to be perfection. And what a wonderful header. You pointed out Erin Cashin's response to it was hands on his head. He couldn't believe it hit that far corner. So it's one that he deserved. I thought it was excellent once again, pretty much faultless throughout the game. Curtis Nelson and him and Erin Cashin dealt with the physical threat of QPR pretty well. So sometimes set pieces, I know we talk about it a lot and Paul talks about it, but set pieces can be the difference, and that just sparked us into life in that second half.
Nelson are never present for Derby this season, as he was last season, the only player to do so far. And then just 76 seconds later, Derby get their second, win the ball back from the kick-off, pressing high up the pitch. Lovely finish from Marcus Harness for his first Derby goal.
It was, and I thought Marcus had moments in the game where he was exceptional. I think out of this group he's probably the most natural to play in a 10 position. He picks up really good spaces where it's hard to mark. He recognises when players are going tight and he rolls them. He's link-up play, and the way that he wants to work with players in and around tight corners is exceptional. And he had moments in the game today, but I'm so pleased with the goal that he scored. It was great. Pressing on the front foot, not rested on your laurels after getting that first goal. Really good ball for Jackson into Harness, and the finish was sublime. We were in the gantry and we saw it from a perfect angle. As soon as it started curling, you just hoped it would fit just inside that far post, and it did. And it was a wonderful way to kind of kickstart that second half after the first and second goal going.
Derby had a couple of chances to get a third. Jerry Yates, who's still waiting for that first Derby goal with a header that was really well saved by Nardi. But actually, it's a goalkeeper at the other end that probably gets the headlines, because for as comfortable as Derby were, and I thought they were reasonably comfortable, he made one in particular outstanding save getting down to his left.
He did. Every game you play in, you're going to look comfortable for long spells if you're performing and you're dominating the ball and you're patient with your builds. But as soon as it goes to 2-0, there's always that little concern, there's always that little worry. You saw the response of QPR's manager, 4 changes, they come on and there's players that we know can create. Chair especially is a handful on his day.
They were better after the changes.
They were better after the changes, and they had to be. So some of that maybe were the personnel, and some of it will just be we've got nothing to lose, so let's be more positive, let's be more aggressive, let's get up the pitch. They put balls into the box, they asked the defenders to make blocks, tackles. I thought Ebro Adams was outstanding, nicking balls in the second half when we're under pressure. But you're comfortable until a period, and then at some stage, you know you're going to have to defend, you're going to have to make saves, and between that back four and Zetterstrom, who made one outstanding save down to his left-hand side, every single player out there played their part in getting the result, and for a performance from top to bottom, from front to back, was outstanding, and it's exactly what we're asking for before the game. Can we go into the international break with another win, with another performance here at Pride Park? We've got that, and there's a chance for players to get their feet up, have a little bit of rest and start again.
A deserved win for Derby. Let's hear from one of the goal scorers, Marcus Harness, got his first for the club today.
Definitely. It's not nice when you score and then you lose. You can't really enjoy it as much. But yeah, it was a good win, good performance to go with it as well. So we're really happy with that.
We had a great view of your finish, and your reaction was brilliant as well. You looked just delighted when it went in.
Yeah. It's always a weight off the shoulders to get a goal so early on. Obviously, first start here. It's enjoyable for myself, but just to kind of make that gap bigger in the game, that I feel like we should have probably scored more in the first half, and 1-0 the game's always in the balance, so to get the second goal was a big relief, and we're happy with the win.
What was the message from the head coach at half time? Because you were the better team in the first half, it was only the goal really that was missing.
I think it was just kind of us getting together and realising how well we were playing and how much control we had, and how we just needed to do the final action to get ahead in the game, and then just a bit of belief, I think, and we went out in the second half and kind of ramped it up, and thankfully got some early goals, and then a convincing win in the end. Yeah,
and 2 goals in 76 seconds we've clocked it at. Tell me what that momentum felt like, especially when yours went in that second one.
Yeah, I think it's just once we got the first goal, it was that belief that I spoke about, and then just getting on the front foot and applying pressure straight away, and thankfully we managed to get a second really quick and kill the game off.
Your first Pride Park start, as you mentioned, your first start in the week at Sunderland. You've been here a few weeks now. How have you settled into life at Derby County? Yeah,
it's been good. Everyone's been welcoming, and I think I've fit into the group really quickly. But obviously there's always challenges trying to get on the same page as people and build them relationships on the pitch. But yeah, I think we built on a lot of them today with the lads that were playing around me. So it gives me a lot of confidence going into the games going forward. I think today was a good one. So yeah.
There is Marcus Harness. Results from the Championship so far this weekend then. Bristol City playing Cardiff tomorrow to finish things off before the break. Draw last night at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland benefiting from a Leeds goalkeeping howler as the points were shared there in the early kick-offs. Norwich, the big winners, hitting 4 today after getting 3 at Pride Park last weekend. Louis Sibley got his first Oxford United goal, equalising at Portsmouth, denying Portsmouth their first win of the season. And they're the only side yet to win now. In the 3 o'clock games, a couple of late goals to mention. Sheffield Wednesday getting the winner at Coventry in the 93rd minute, and a 97th minute goal for Morgan Whittaker at Plymouth to give them a 2-1 win over Blackburn. That after Wayne Rooney, the Plymouth boss, had been sent to the stands. West Brom got a late winner as well, and Watford came from behind to beat Middlesbrough. That win has taken Watford into the top 6. Sunderland still top of the pile going into the break after 9 games. Their goal difference just shading things from Sheffield United. And there's Derby just sneaking into the top half in 12th. Bristol City could leapfrog them tomorrow when they play Cardiff, but looking at the bottom 3, Queen's Park Rangers beaten here today, Cardiff beaten at Pride Park earlier in the season as well, and Portsmouth, who, as I mentioned, the only side now yet to record a win. That's all from us for now. If you want more reaction to today's game, it'll be on the website for you, dcfc.co.uk. We'll see you in a fortnight's time. Enjoy the international break. From me, Barks, and the team, goodbye.